Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chii for All, the platform created to help working artists thrive and find or refine their unique creative voices by showcasing their personal work. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Reneé, aka Chii, and I will be hosting our virtual show number 5, which is crazy. The theme for this show is monsters, more specifically, my kind of monster, a character collision, and more on that collision part once we start rolling here. So to introduce you guys to all of our artists, we have a couple of new ones, as you can see, and we're all going to just do a quick intro. So we're going to start with Tom, who's one of our brand new artists. If you could tell us, Tom, your name, where you're from, what kind of creative work you do for clients versus for yourself. And then we have a couple of fun questions as well, such as what kind of monster are you? And then also, what kind of monster would you choose to be if the personality quiz didn't tell you that you had to be that one? All right, Tom, it's you.
Hi, I'm Tom. I am from suburbia just outside of Chicago. For my day job, I'm a product designer. And as far as creative work, when I'm not working for a client, I actually do a lot of the same stuff for fun, which I guess means I chose the right profession. I like to do a lot of sculpting and drawing and music. And according to the internet, my monster that I most identify with is Frankenstein's monster because apparently I'm cool and collective. I don't know that I totally agree with that. If I were to choose my own monster to identify with, I would probably pick the chupacabra, somewhat because I've had a lot of fun in Mexico, but mostly I just really like to say chupacabra. That's me.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah DeMars. Currently, I am residing in the city of Chicago. Right now, I am working as a freelance graphic designer and illustrator. And right now, I've been doing a lot of logos for clients and a lot of like wedding illustrations and stuff, which has been awesome. In my spare time, though, I like to do the complete opposite. And I love to just make up imaginary children's book illustration spreads. I love to draw. I love ceramics as well. Like anything and everything I get my hands on, I will do. When I took the quiz, I was extremely disappointed and I got a werewolf, which I don't think, okay, I think Meg got a werewolf too, but I don't want to be a werewolf. I feel like I would be a better vampire or a dragon. I feel like a dragon would be really cool. And that's me.
Hi guys, my name is Jimena. I'm from Mexico City and I live in the Chicagoland area. For my day job, I'm a graphic designer and art director, usually working on packaging and stuff like that. I'm also a part of After Five Studio. And then for my personal projects, I like to do a little bit of everything, mostly if it involves toys or plushies. And for my monster for the quiz, it says that I'm a vampire, which I don't think I have the personality to be a vampire. If I could be any monster, I think I would create a new monster with the best qualities of all the monsters, and I would be a mega monster.
Hi, my name is Lisa Kwon. I'm from Chicago. For my day job, I work as a production artist in the retail display industry. My background is in graphic design and photography, but I like to dabble in music and painting and drawing. The online quiz says I am a vampire, just like Jimena. Yes. Don't know if I agree, but I'm fine with it. For my personal monster, I think I would want some kind of helpful. I want to be some kind of helpful multilingual monster that can speak every language and help out when I can.
Hi, I think I'm next. My name is Megan. I'm from the Chicagoland area as well, but I currently live in the city. For creative work, for my actual job, I do a lot of like some packaging design, in-store advertisements and stuff like that, graphic designer. And a little bit of photography, but I will say that my like love creatively is definitely photography. Photo and video stuff is so fun to me. Also, like animation is very exciting. That's probably the area of creative work that I dwell the most in for myself. As far as my monster quiz answer, I'm also a vampire, so I'm sensing trend here. It's great, kind of crazy, but I didn't agree with mine either. And I think that's because I was thinking Dracula, but then Jimena, when you were talking, I was thinking like, okay, I wouldn't mind being a member of the Cullen family, like Twilight. I'd be fine with that. That's cool. But I think if I were to pick my own monster, I would probably pick mermaid. I think that would be a good fit for me. Oh, Meg, sorry. I stole it.
Hi, I'm Meg, born and raised in Chicago. I'm a production artist by day, work on a lot of packaging and promotions. And for myself, I make art with our Chii gang. My monster quiz said I'm a werewolf. I could partially see that. And if I could pick any monster, I would be a siren mermaid because I love the water and I always wish I could sing without sounding like a dying animal. So Maggie, we're good. We're good.
Hi, my name is Payton. I'm from the Chicagoland area and I recently moved to Chicago, the city. During the work week, I'm working on packaging, point of purchase like advertising and toy work. And then in my free time, I do a lot of illustration, but I'm really interested in typography and also hand lettering. But I do mainly everything on the computer as my job is. According to the quiz that I took online, at first I was like, I don't know if I'd be this, but it said a dragon. But then when I got into deeper, they gave a very detailed explanation. It said fierce and independent. You don't need anyone telling you what to do. And I feel like I would like to be that. So I'll say that I would choose to be a dragon because I hope to be fierce and independent.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I am from Indiana, so Portage up by like the Dunes area. So a little farther away than everybody else, but that's okay. I am an associate production artist by day. And then on the flip side, I like to dabble in really anything just creatively, whether that's drawing, painting, sculpture. Now I'm starting to dabble into 3D and it is quite exciting, trying to learn something new. So when I took the monster quiz, it told me that I was a zombie. And I I really don't know why. I'm not a quiet person. I'm not slow by any means. It's just really, I don't know. Not what I would by Meg by any means. If I got to pick, gosh dang it, Meg, you're gonna make me laugh the whole time. If I had to pick, I would probably dang it. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm closing off Meg. If I had to pick, I feel like I would pick the Loch Ness Monster for a couple different reasons. One, it's a bucket list item of mine to go and look for it and try to find it. So I feel like that's just really fitting for me. But two, it would be so cool to trick people to like pop my head out of the water and then they think that they found it and then try to like take pictures on the side and never know that I exist and have this whole Loch Ness to myself. So that would be really cool to have my own little place. So that would be me, not a zombie.
Hello, my name is Pascal. I'm from Chicago, and for clients, I do graphic design, illustrations, whether traditionally or digital, or a combination of both. I also do sequential art, whether for comic books or graphic novels. And for myself, I do fantasy illustrations and graphic novels. And it's usually that's with pencil, ink, and all of my coloring is done digitally. Now, according to the questionnaire, I'm a vampire, which is fine with me because I like the elegance of being such a creature. I'm a night owl, and I also get to live forever. That's me.
Hello again. I am Reneé. I am from Chicago. As a creative for work, I do illustration, design, and art direction. And then on my own, I like to do art with all of these lovely people. And I do mostly acrylic painting, but also resin work and leather work. And I did a little bit more digital this time than I normally do. So I tend to stay away from it, but I'm okay with it sometimes. As far as my monster questionnaire, apparently I'm also a vampire. So we have a whole family of them here today. I did not expect that, but it's cool. I think if I could choose for myself, I would probably be maybe a mix between a phoenix and a dragon. I really love those two and just all the symbolism and everything of them. So yeah, that's me. And I think we got everyone now. We're just about ready to start the main part of the show, which all of you have been waiting for. So for any of you watching this live, most of the artists that you just met are here watching the premiere with you. And we'd love to hear from you in the chat. So please drop us a note in the comments. Also very important, we will be jumping over to our live Q&A directly after this premiere is finished. You can find the link for that directly below in the description. And if you have any questions that come up while you're watching, we'd love to answer them for you. So please hang on to them and join us for the Q&A after the show. As always, if you like our content, we would really appreciate it if you could like our video and subscribe to see more of our shows in the future. And then in our description, you can also find links to each of the artists' Instagram accounts if you'd like to give them a shout or to see more of their work, or if you're interested in purchasing anything that you see in today's show. And it's not just up yet, but we're also going to have a link available to shop our show within the next few days, which is very exciting. This is definitely a first for all of us, and it's thanks to After 5 Studios, which is led by Christian and Jimena, who's in our show today. I have to give them a shout out because they're just amazing, and they truly align with our vision of a better world through art. They're awesome. They've been killing it with art shows, different projects left and right, and just connecting hundreds of artists, really. So you have to check them out for yourselves to see all of the awesome work that they do and stuff they're up to. So yes, they are also linked in the description below. I think that covers everything for me, which means we're actually ready to start the show. So I hope to see you in the live Q&A afterwards. And I hope you're all ready for some monsters. Enjoy the show. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Natalie too.
Nice.
Awesome. I can't wait to smush some of these together.
Yeah, it's gonna be so fun.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. It was a good one. I enjoyed it.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Yeah.
Good job.
That was awesome.
Really good.
I wanna do it
concepts tonight.
Yeah, very fun. I feel like we should do it again sometime or something.
Yeah.
I had a blast working on this mashup project. figuring out how to combine my crab creature sketch with Natalie's one-eyed furry friend and Lisa's grassblade creature was a great exercise in creativity. Starting out, I pretty much just jumped right in sketching. I decided pretty quickly what elements I wanted to borrow from each design. I definitely wanted to keep the crab elements from my original, and I liked all the furry bits in Natalie's sketch, and the sharp grassblade elements from Lisa's sketch were a given. I ended up landing on a half-crab furry cyclops with some grass and skull stuff going on also. Borrowing a little bit from Hellboy, I incorporated a huge right arm into my monster for him to wield his giant claw hand, and to play around with asymmetry between it and the rest of his mostly proportional body. And besides that, I thought it just added kind of a fun little storytelling bit to the character's design. So I kept refining the line work, and I played around with maybe adding some additional elements. I thought about adding a tail for a second, but I decided, you know what, this is probably enough stuff going on. So then I moved on to color. I decided to keep kind of a primary Superman-esque hero color scheme to balance out the more nightmarish features that I chose to include in this guy. I also decided to name him Murray. So the color was blocked in, the line work was done, the name was decided, all that was left was a little bit of shading and texturing, and voila, he was done. The project was finished. But then I started thinking, maybe I could take him a step further. Maybe I could digitally sculpt him. That way I could explore the design a little further, and maybe end up with a 3D model and some cool renderings at the end. So that's what I did. I built the design up piece by piece in ZBrush. I started with the torso and the sweet mop of chest fur, and I built out from there. I sculpted his big buff right arm, and then his other normal arm and his signature thumbs up pose. I modeled his head and eyeball, made sure to capture his goofy grin with a single pointy tooth. And then I moved on to his body and shell. It took a little time to develop his crabby legs and figure out how much detail to put into him to balance with the rest of the design. And then I moved on to his pinchy right hand. Finally, it was time to sculpt his grassy shoulder pads. The giant blades of grass on his back were a little tricky to figure out how they were sticking there. I'd like to think that maybe he's just clenching them with his back muscles. That seems normal, right? And all that was left was the shoulder skulls. But then I realized Murray might get a little bit lonely all by himself, so I decided to sculpt him a little friend living in those skulls. And I named that friend Bill. With all the sculpting finished, all that was left was a quick pass through the renderer to produce the final images. Murray and Bill were complete. Unless, maybe I could take them just a little bit further. Maybe I could split them into pieces and 3D print them. Maybe I could add articulation to Murray's arm by embedding magnets in his shoulders. Maybe I could make his claw open and close. Maybe I could hand paint them and turn them into a full-blown action figure. Maybe I could share the whole process in super high-speed time-lapse, accompanied by a moody alt-rock acoustic ballad.
Making a monster just for me, making them for the world to see, naming them after Bill Murray. You're my kind of monster. 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 Kind of
think the project is finished. Unless... No, he's done. Thanks for watching.
Monsters aren't a Halloween thing around my house. They have taken over every nook and cranny around here. Even the ones that are not supposed to be monsters. Fluffy, soft, round or small, bloody, gory, or plain adorable, I love them all. Monsters are creatures that surround my day-to-day and make me smile with their unexpected traits and remind me there is room for us all, no matter how weird, because we're odd. And not fitting into a single mold, it's part of the beauty we celebrate when we come together as Chii for all. Now, my kind of monster is the one that I can bring from concept to tangible object on any medium that proves the best to showcase each monster's monstrosity. He needs to have a grandiose name, something that will transcend time. It needs to be powerful and impressive. Sweet Cheeks, the mighty conqueror. Bounty hunter by day and aspiring rockstar at night, he's great at catching monsters, but sucks at collecting any reward. He eats monsters for breakfast and lunch, and pretty much any time he has a chance. He can't help himself. Not that he really tries, being he's going through his terrible 20s. So self-restraint is something that he will learn later on, when he eats a garble and loses all his hair and one of his fans. But that won't happen for another 60 years. So for now, let's bask in his fluffiness and hope he never comes at our door hungry.
Discomfort comes in many forms: piercing sounds, discoloration, repetitive, excessive movements, and sometimes a deep darkness that stares without eyes. Within our happy group, we played a game of mashup where out of 3 monster creations, 2 were to be shared with other artists as inspirations into creating a piece around the theme of monster. These were the gems to begin my new exploration. In homage to my fellow monster artists, as well as inspiration taken from current weeks of anxieties, discomforts, and overall general fear of the unknowns, I aim to explore, placing a face on these discomforts by finding what connects them to the same feelings shared in the weeks of late. Through thoughtful overthinking of character, expression, and overall shape language, this is what I came to find. Renee's monster comes with bold confidence, bright eyes, full of hope, dancer hands, and positive vibes. They hold what seemed to be the power of focus on their side. Something wonderful to start the week off with. My monster establishes what feels like the progression of a work week, fighting through the good fight and making it through alive. Meg's monster is pure joy and play, as spirited as a Saturday and free to just be. And together they make it through a pretty successful week, with focus, progression, and play, keeping stagnation and fears at bay with full smiles.
Hi everyone, Megan here. For my monster project, I happened to luck out and score not just one, but two tentacled creatures as inspiration. So, of course, I had to run with that idea. My immediate thought was, great, I'll make something with tons and tons of legs or tentacles or whatever. And although I didn't initially think I'd be collaging human legs together, that was where I ended up. So I scoured the internet for some funky legs and started clipping. I did a lot of clipping. Collaging has always been a creative medium that I've been drawn to because as a kid, I adored thumbing through my mom's magazines and looking at all the beautiful photos and advertisements. It's really no wonder that I'm so into Pinterest and Instagram now as an adult. After I'd finally gotten somewhere with the legs, I realized that in order to stay true to my inspiration pieces, I had to add a bunch of eyes. Luckily, I have a healthy makeup Pinterest board with dozens of them. Surprise! I've added in some spines and a bathing suit top, but that will be gone shortly. Kind of a random twist, but I wanted to connect the eyes and the legs to create some sort of weird Frankenstein-esque creature, and the spines kind of reminded me of the tentacles from Jimena and Lisa's pieces, so I ran with it. Now here I am adding in one massive inverted eye as a background element because that red color bar was just not quite doing it for me. I loved this bright turquoise for the eye because it tied back to the original inspiration that I had and also added a little bit of weirdness to the piece. At this point, I was just looking for something to tie everything together, and what's better than a real life tentacle or two? Or an illustration of one, I suppose. So there you have it, a not quite human, not quite octopus, weird monster thing. I had a ton of fun putting it together, and I think with all of its quirks, it turned out pretty cool.
Hey, is this Finny Mac?
Yeah,
I got a job for you
what is it?
from the big boss. You know her, the godmother,
Yeah,
Reneé the Chii.
yeah.
It's about some monster business. I was told you were the guy to go to, that you was the expert.
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not.
My name is Natalie Neumann. You knew me before as Natalie Rokas, but I just got married. Super happy, but let's talk monsters. This is my monster, Apollo, who reminded me of the element of play. And while I received some very crazy and fun drawings from Reneé and Jimena, and of course I had to combine one myself, I was so inspired to create a monster that embodied this element of play. So I started sketching, realizing that I wanted to play with materials I had not worked with before, wire and this fun addition of marbles. Full disclosure, wire is not as easy as I would have thought, so there was a lot of trial and error in order to get it to work the way that I envisioned it. As I played with the material, I started discovering movement, which was so exciting to me. I brought out a completely new level of innovation. I started pushing myself to see how I could make this little monster interactive. The eyes could be removable, so it could be a two-eyed winged monster or a cyclops. The wings could move and sway when I pretended it could fly. It could throw up marbles and have its own little superpower. Creating this little marble-eating monster named Marvin was pure joy. Throughout the process, I loved experimenting and literally just playing. Marvin brought a big smile, a lot of laughs, and reminded me that experimentation is key to being a successful artist.
Hello, my name is Payton Oakes, and I'm a designer and creator. It's been about a year since I've done a Chii for All show, so I was excited to push myself again to create new things during this weird time in our lives. You obviously heard about the workshop we did at the beginning of our projects. I drew 3 monsters, got to keep 1, got 2 other monster drawings from other Chii artists, and these were the final 3 drawings I got to combine. To get motivated, one night we all watched Monsters, Inc. as we started our projects. I don't know about the others, but I always feel more motivated whenever I see others around me working. During the movie, I basically just sketched and traced until I felt like there was an even balance between all 3 drawings in my one monster mash. Then I did absolutely nothing until 2 Sundays ago, when I needed to finish my piece and edit this video in about 5 days. Aha, there she is, that Sunday night, ready to crank out a monster mash. Now, I'm never one to procrastinate when it comes to work. It makes me way too anxious. But for some reason, when it comes to my personal work, I be procrastinating a little bit too much, but I always get it done. So, here's me working, playing with the line weight, and kind of really having fun with all the colors. I felt like the colors I dressed my monster in really changed the vibe he gave off. And before I ramble on even more, here's my fun, complete, and on-time monster mash.
me.